Hello everyone, this is Anya Decotos. Welcome back. We are back in the kitchen, and let me tell you, I actually filmed this video a while ago when I bought this thing that I have in front of me right now, and somehow it got lost, so I have to film it again, which is not a problem. Anyways, so I bought this thing. It's a device used for chopping vegetables and other things. And as you know, I've always had problems. Chopping things takes me a long time. It's frustrating, especially when it comes to the onions that I have right here, 3 of them. So I thought I'd give this a try. So I will show you first how it works and what it comes with. You have the lid, of course, and then all the things that are inside is this. So first of all, you have the container, right? Then you pop this on, and on this side you have this thing that's got this little grid on it. And there's 3 different sizes. There's the small one, and then in here we have the bigger one, and then the biggest. So you kind of store them in here, which is very convenient. I will actually leave these 2 in here. And then on this side, so first of all, after you pop this in here, the way it works, you put whatever you're chopping over here and you just smash it down with this. Now on this side, you have more attachments. You have the slicer. This is the only thing that I wish it came more with, to slice in different thicknesses, but you only have one, which is fine. If you need something, like me, when I need thicker slices, I just use a knife. So then on this side, you have the thing for lemon juice or whatever, orange juice, which is also very helpful for me, because then you just literally take this out, pop this in here, and I don't have to worry about holding it or where it's gonna go. I just kind of squeeze it out in here. So that's great. And then you have the grater and a bigger one. Excuse me, for some reason every time I record lately I get this like cough. So you have this one, and then the last one is this thing, and I'll attach pictures of them. So those we are not going to need today. And okay, so I'm going to put this away. Did I take all of those? I'm going to keep all 3 of them just in case. And then for when you're slicing things and whatnot, you have this thing, which I have not used, just because this is kind of big. But basically, if you're slicing something, to avoid cutting your fingers, you put it on here and you slice this way. Yeah, I guess it's useful. I don't really use it though. And then the last thing I want to talk about in here is the fact that this top comes with, it has a little grid on it. And then it took me a while to figure out that this actually pops off. So you can take this off for washing it. And then in here is a little device that I've discovered, which is really hard to take out. So let me see if I can just use this knife to pop this out. I popped it out. So this is what's in there. And basically, because things get stuck in this grid, you're supposed to like clean it like this, which I have used. sometimes. Before I discovered that this thing is actually in here, I used a knife to kind of go through all the grids. So this is the device. And now we're gonna start chopping things. And what I usually start with is the onions, the dreadful onions that have become one of my favorite things to cut, believe it or not. So the reason I start with this is because I first slice the onions on this side and then chop them into little squares on this side. And because I have to take the slices out and then put them over here, that's why I start with this, so I don't have any other vegetables inside the container. But basically, you just, and this, it used to take me what, like 15-20 minutes to just chop up one onion. Now, well, let's just say it's much faster. Okay, so that's one that's sliced up for now. The other one. And the last one. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm making, it's actually I think it's a Hungarian dish that us Polish people call lecho. For the Polish people out there, you might know what that is. Okay, so I will only show you guys the chopping part of this dish. I don't feel like filming the whole thing, plus you've seen me cutting up things with a knife before, so you don't need to see that again. Okay, so this is what we have so far. All slices, as you can see, very nice, all even. So what I do now is I just kind of dump them out onto something like a cutting board. Okay, so I've got all these slices, right? And now is where the hard part usually begins, with the chopping and the slices coming apart and just it being a huge pain. Wait, a little more here. Okay. So now you just place the slices on this side, on the grid. Usually a few at a time I do. And then what I found is it's hard to do it slowly. You kind of have to just smash it down, which doing it with my foot is actually, well, nice and convenient because I just kind of kick it with my heel like this. Oh, that was a lot. Okay, and then we keep going. Sometimes you get these big ones that you just kind of have to squish in there. There you go. Now I am keeping this part in real time just so you guys can see just how easy this is. Sometimes this gets a little stuck, but if that's what I have to deal with to chop onions this fast, then yes please. probably done more than one, definitely. About half of them already. See, I cannot believe this. I'm telling you guys, every time I use this thing, I'm like, how did I ever live without this? You know, doing all the chopping the regular way and me just getting frustrated because it takes so long. And I'm so extremely happy that I bought this thing. I have had it for, I want to say, about a couple months now. And I actually use it quite a lot. I mean, anytime I have anything to chop, that I definitely use this for that. Just stick this little piece in there too. Okay. And that's how fast I have cut up 3 onions. 3 of them, you guys. As you can see, it's definitely chopped up. It is as small as I need it to be. Depends on how particular you are about the size of your onions. So now I will put those in a little bowl. Forgot to take something to scoop this out. But I will keep all the rest of the vegetables in this container until I'm ready to put them in the pot. So, okay. I mean, look at this, you guys. It's a full bowl of chopped up onions that took me 2 minutes. This is amazing. There you go. That's done. If you recall me struggling with the onions in the previous videos, you can probably understand why I'm so extremely happy about this. Okay, so I didn't scoop every last piece of the onions from here, but it's fine. I'm going to be throwing it in the pot anyways. So now what I'm going to do is I will switch this out for, I think, the biggest grid. And I will be chopping up the peppers. So I have a bunch of peppers here. It's two peppers. I am going to take the skin off of them first. So just bear with me and we'll get back to the chopping soon. Okay, so I have just took the skin off of all the peppers. That was a bit of a tedious process, but it didn't take as long as I thought it would. So what I will do now is, because the pepper needs to fit on this grid over here, let me just take all the skin off of my feet. So what I do is I just cut them into little pieces like that, pop it right on there. And because peppers are soft, a lot softer than an onion is, I just kind of, I don't even close this, especially when I got so many of them to do. And eventually they'll squeeze through there. Alright, and also because a pepper is a little bit curved at the end, I just kind of make sure that I curve it up so I don't get any bigger pieces in there, bigger than I want them to be. and then, you know, once in a while I could press it with this just to get rid of all of that. There's a little piece already. One more. Could probably just rip it also. So, as you can see, I mean, it doesn't really get much easier than that. Which is like, yes, I can finally do it, and I don't have to like, oops, crooked. I don't have to like dread cooking, at least not as much as I used to. It's still not my favorite thing to do. I think I like eating more than I like cooking. So then the last thing that we're going to have left after the peppers is the zucchini. And I'm just going to peel it, slice it with a knife, and then I'll pop it on here in slices to make chunks out of it, or squares, I mean. Okay, so that's all the peppers. You see these are much bigger, which is how I wanted them. And then the last thing we'll do on the medium grid, just this one, and that will be the zucchini. Okay, so the zucchini is all cut up. I mean, it's peeled. Zucchini is peeled. So I do want the squares to be thicker, bigger. So I'm gonna just make kind of thick slices out of this. All right. And because the slices of this are thicker, I usually put like 3 of them. 3 gives just enough thickness. You know what I've even tried making on this? Which they turned out a little bit curved. But I've actually put a potato on top of this, and I was trying to make French fries. So then I put a potato and I did this. But because this goes at an angle, it was kind of pushing the potato like at a curve. But other than that, they come out just fine. Going to be that. And just for this video, I also have a tomato and some sausage that I'm going to put in this. So I thought, why not? I'll just use this for that as well. So that's that. Now you see it's starting to look nice and colorful. Okay, move this over a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing with the tomato because I do want the pieces to be just a little bit bigger. And I have like about 3/4 of a tomato here. So just a few slices of this, because I'm going to add tomato sauce or tomato paste and some other things into this. But I do want a little bit of a fresh tomato in there. Hold on. Okay. Get rid of this a little bit more. Alright. And I found that the softer the things are, well, actually it doesn't even matter, but if you're cutting up something soft and you try to go slow, it'll just mush it up. I've tried that. Sorry, I've tried that with strawberries, and it yeah, it didn't turn out good. So you do have to kind of smash it hard, especially with the soft things. Alright, so now we've got the tomato in there too. And now for the sausage. Okay. I'll leave the little tiny end for expo. Let's see if this is gonna work. Let's put like 2 next to each other maybe. I feel like I have to smash this kind of hard. Okay, so they kind of got stuck in here. But I think that's going to work. Because then it'll just, the next ones are gonna push those out. But it does cut through the skin and everything. Oh, no, I got a little piece left here. Pop it in there later. But it's good to know that it works if you need it to work. Although, how often do you cut up a sausage in little squares, you know? But if you do, then that is definitely an option. Okay. Let's see how that turned out. Let's take these off. Okay, put that to the side. I'm pretty sure we're done with all the chopping, so there you go. I mean, look, they're definitely squares, so that's cool. All of that in such a short time. I mean, the longest thing that it took me to do was probably to peel the skin off the peppers. The onions were just a breeze. Everything else was too. I love this thing. I will post the name of it in the description. But I bought it off of Amazon. It was, I think, about $30. And it's worth every single penny to me. I mean, it has made my cooking experience so much better, so much faster, so much less stressful. I think if I knew I had to cut all of this, plus the onions, just with a knife, I would be dreading making this dish, and I probably wouldn't even make it at all, because I would feel like it's too much work. It would be too much. But I will leave you here. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining again. I always appreciate you guys watching, and thanks for all your support. I do hope that you enjoyed this. I hope this helps somebody, because I don't know, I don't think I was aware of such things and how useful and convenient they are. It's also very easy to wash out. I mean, especially if you're cutting up veggies and whatnot, you don't really need to do any scrubbing or anything. So I love this thing. I love it. I would literally buy this, again if I had to. It's just making my life so much easier, and I'm glad I decided to give this a try. So please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.